Today, ladies and gentlemen, we will be working with some of the most annoying things in the world. But first, we do need to take this area, which I have dug out around and terraformed, and turn it into a villager paradise. So, sit back, stay tuned, eat some popcorn, and enjoy with me, your host, Snazzy Monkey, on this, another episode on the Jumblecraft server.
I'd like to love you every day.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode on the Jumblecraft server with me, your host, the Snazzy Monkey. This got built in my time away from YouTubing. Just for a little bit, I haven't been feeling my best. You know how it goes, lack of motivation, what have you. But we tore into this ground here. We got 2 beacons, 1 and 2. And now we have tons upon tons of slime balls flying into the system here, which means we can make tons upon tons of slime blocks, flying machines, world eaters, and all the other fun farms that require slime blocks now, and not have to worry ever about slime again. Also, in my time away, we made our first shop, and by first shop, I mean first of many shops, plural, and we are animating armor stands now, so that we can give them fun, wacky things here, like this guy is just so excited that he's got netherite, and he's Nether Braver Nelson, and I gave them all fun names, Copper Mining Joe, and stuff like Berry Seller Kurt, stuff like that. Spooky, Scary, Skeleton Cecil, and all these people not only have fun names, Ashamed Chicken Clive, but also Don't Be a Chicken, Eat Chicken, shop names, and I think my favorite one, which I hope I don't get monetized for, is Bury On My Wayward Son. The final thing that we did, ladies and gentlemen, is we happenstanced upon a blue axolotl. I heard these guys are rare, so we went ahead and snagged him and named him Tiny Thomas, because all axolotls are tiny and adorable, and we love them to death. So, ladies and gentlemen, I guess all that's left to do is for me to figure out exactly what I want in here, what kind of villagers I want in here, because this area will be the villager trading town. But I want my villagers to be in place. Like, I don't want my villagers roaming the town, even though they will be technically free-ranged because they won't be all cooped up in a pen. We want our villagers to be, you know, nice and cozy in a home. We want them to be protected by the outlying areas that are just so dark. Look at this boy. He just wants to eat our villagers, and that's just not okay. Look at this boy. Look at him. He just wants to eat everything he can, but that's not okay. We don't want these guys to eat our villagers. We want our villagers to be happy, healthy, and safe. So I want to build tiny houses for them where they will be living, but we also want to kind of bring this area to life. I don't want to just build a box and then put a villager inside and then just call it a day. No. That's not how we do things on the Snazzy channel. What we do is we elaborate things. I want a pathway. I want beautiful greenery everywhere. I want this area to be a majestic hidden landscape where villagers can be safe in their utopian society. The only thing is they're just not allowed to walk around because villager AI, I mean, let's be honest, they don't need to be walking around. They just need a house. If we give them a house, I can call myself a good guy. And ladies and gentlemen, I think this is gonna be the layout we go with here. I'm thinking some rich... Woo! Give me a second, let me take care of these guys. Alright, now, let me take a look. I think I want rich people over here. So, librarians, maybe in these first 2, depending on, like, the kinds of librarians we can get. I want this guy over here out in the cave to be a blacksmith. So this cave's actually going to be a house over here. I want this house here. Maybe this house occupied by fishermen. I want these houses here occupied by villager farmers. And then the rest of this is going to be miscellaneous. Maybe a Fletcher back here. And each house is going to have like 3 or so villagers in it. It's not like one house per villager. It's going to be, you know, they're going to kind of have their like little areas and stuff where they're just going to sit and kind of be next to their workstations and their beds. And I want to see if I can't make like a custom tree in the middle here. Maybe like a cherry blossom tree or something, incorporating some of the new leaves with the flowers on it, like the azalea bush flowers. So we have a lot to kind of do. So let me just get cracking on with some of these houses here. And let's get started with everything. And ladies and gentlemen, hours of work later, and this is what we have as a build here for the library. Let's do a little quick fly around. This is going to turn to green. So that's not going to stay copper like that forever. But I really like this design. I think it definitely screams library. Like you walk past it and you go, that is a library. But not only does it scream library when you walk past it, but it also is a library on the inside. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We did interior decorating on the first try. Isn't that awesome? Look at us go. So everywhere where you see a podium here is going to be a villager. Therefore, they are having their grand old times, just chilling out. This one's going to have 4 villagers, I think. Yeah, 4th one there. And then up here, we even have a 3rd story here for 4 more villagers, and also a lovely balcony to look out. We can also jump off there, but we're not going to because that's dangerous. So we're just going to close that and close that door. But, ladies and gentlemen, I think this area looks quite lovely indeed. So all that's left to do now is to get our librarian villagers in here, and they will be having a grand old time. But with the library all done and dusted, it makes me think that because of how many villagers I can fit in one building, I can have each building, well, maybe with the exception of like these 3, these farm huts are going to be a little bit smaller, but each building is going to be correspondent to one particular type of villager. Like I said, with the exception of maybe these 3 here. Maybe. I fully haven't decided yet. But yeah, we can really just kind of build to our heart's extent here, and I wanted them super close. So like this guy's actually like intertwined with this guy over here, so we're going to have to figure out what looks close enough to, oh my goodness gracious me, what looks close enough to the library so that we can actually connect to them together. And we will also have to go through here and do some terraforming and everything like that. But this, ladies and gentlemen, has made me so happy. And ladies and gentlemen, a couple of more hours have gone by, and we now have 2 more houses built, which makes 3 houses in total. And I did the best I could to kind of show off building designs, whilst also we gotta do something about that blank. It can't be blank. Trying to make it seem like, so this looks like a library, right? For some, this looks like a library, and I want that to be the case. And this looks like it could potentially be a butcher's shop, and that's exactly what it is. This is where our butchers are gonna hang out. You know, this is 1, and then 2, 3. So I guess 3 butchers in total. And I didn't do a bit up here because I just, you know, I think 3 butchers should be substantial. And yeah, so we have 2 different entrances into the shop. And then this over here is the cartographer's shop. And I think it's very quaint. I quite like this design of it supporting this overhang here. And this is kind of the entry point here. So I want to make sure to keep that open. But yeah, we come inside here, and this area here is very crammed indeed, and the cartographer is actually going to go right here. But everywhere else inside here is just made to look like someone who's, you know, spend all their time drawing maps. I've never been to someone who's spent their time drawing maps before, but I would assume this is what their house would look like. And I fixed it. I just wanted to show off that I fixed it. And I also added shutters because this area was just looking a little too dull for my taste. I might also go through and add some support bits in the middle, much like what we have here. Let me do that real quick, actually. Yeah, that's going to be something that I do next. And there we go. Now I got it to where it's very overly detailed. And I do want to point out real quick, we are using over here the campfire trick. I love this so much. Like, I don't know why I don't use it more often in my builds. It just makes for a great little sun guard over here for the place where we just murder animals. Ignore the zeros. It's a texture pack. And just this project, it's taking so many hours. But we have 2 more houses in. They are very, very, very crammed together. And yet they still work so well. We have the leather worker and the shepherd. And inside here we have 1 shepherd and 2 more shepherds. I'd make 3 shepherds there. All I need for that one. And also, you hear it out here, I also wrangled up 2 sheep. That's very lovely indeed. Just kind of sell that it's the shepherd's hut. And this is the leather worker, where we have 3 people for leather, and I just kind of made this like really crammed. As my template suggests, I'm kind of not the best when it comes to how big a building's going to be. They're reaching right the way up into the sky, though. It's absolutely insane. So we have a total of 5 houses now, and I'm just exhausted. I mean, each house takes a couple of hours by itself, like 2 hours. So, yeah, this is, and not to mention, every time I run out of resources, I have to go get more resources. It's just such an interesting time. Oh my goodness me. But regardless, we are doing really well. We're going to be able to figure out a central bit in a little bit. Once we get more houses in, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're only... if we do 1 more, we'll be halfway there. But I don't know if I'm going to do that today or if I'm going to do that tomorrow, because currently, right now, it is 9 o'clock in the afternoon, and I am just absolutely knackered. It is ridiculous, but I think I'm going to press on and do 1 more house. I haven't decided yet. Let me just get something to drink, and we'll come back to this in a second. It is now the next day, and also I just sat down and just started building more houses. I got so tired yesterday, and I just was like, you know what? I'm gonna go to sleep. But I woke up, went to work, came back, and built 3 more houses. This is the toolsmith, or not the toolsmith, the weaponsmith house, which is looking absolutely gorgeous. We have a furnace system out here so you can smelt his weapons up. 2 places over there and 2 places in the top. Very lovely indeed. Working on interiors is not my forte, but I gotta tell you, it's definitely paying off for sure. And the beauty is just coming together with this little town. We're 4 houses away from being absolutely done. It's absolutely amazing. And I found these things called drip leaves or tiny drip things. So I went ahead and got some of them and used them in our fishing pond, because this is the fisherman's hut. And obviously it looks a lot nicer than what you would expect a fisherman to own. But he has his little living space here. And he also has this stuff right here, an area for 3 of them to go and chill out to their heart's content. There's also a back way here. Oops, sorry, my bridge. There's also a back way here, which, depending on how big this house is, might be turned into some kind of patio or something. Quite lovely there. And this humble abode is the farmer's house. Not much to the inside, as you can see. There's a lot of storage in here, a red bed. But back here, where all of the wheat is, we have an area for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6! I have to transport 6 villagers who are going to be farmers. They're all going to have their farmer hats on. They're all going to be having grand old times. And they will all be covered by this stuff here. And over here, what I've been doing, actually, you can kind of see it here, is I've been giving them these little pathway hole things so that we can get the XP. Because halfway through building these houses, I feel like I haven't changed these ones over here. But halfway through building these houses, I realized that I haven't gotten a spot for the XP to come through. So I have to change that to a half slab and have to change a couple other things to a half slab. But I've been doing it now because I realized I want the XP when I trade. So I'm going to crack on with some more builds, and I definitely want to stay away from that guy. And we are going to get this thing done in this episode. At least all the houses. Maybe not the villager transporting, but we'll see how much time we have left. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now the next day. So many days have gone by, and we have finally completed all of the houses in the town. Every single house has a profession assigned to it, knocking out most of the professions that you can get in the game. And also, I think this area is going to be really hidden, but it's going to be kind of like a, if you find it, you know, then that's like really good for you. And this area is going to have 5 masons, which is going to be amazing. I just love this design. It's so simple, yet it just, I can't, there are no words. Amazing. And then this is the armor, and this is just, I mean, again, when you deal with such a tiny space to work with, like, the houses are massive, but, like, the insides are, like, really not that much to, like, work with. So when you're dealing with such a small space, you can kind of, like, really go into detail. The toolsmith, inside here, we have some storage. I used a block that I could actually use stairs with and make it to where it kind of, like, makes the wall not as flat, whereas this wall is, like, really flat. We got some shelves in here, some areas for the toolsmiths to go, a seat to watch out the window, some paintings, and then up here we have an attic with more toolsmith stuff. And over here we have the cleric, which is actually supposed to be a church. So we actually have a little cross going on there. We have kind of like, I don't know what you would call it, like pillared pew things. And on the inside here we have candles, and these are where the clerics are going to go, and this is just kind of like a really cramped area. You really kind of have to walk around in here. And then up here, we have 2 more areas for where clerics can go. And then at the very top, we have a bell tower. Because, you know, all churches have bell towers. We can see the village pretty nicely from up here. So, ladies and gentlemen, that begs the question, what is next? Do I want to continue designing and make pathways through here and make a central bit here and all that other fun stuff and give like little secret kind of hidden things where if you explore the area enough you'll find something cool? Or do I want to do the backstaking process of getting all the villagers? Ooh, we also did this and I wanted to show this off. I love this little secret kind of cove. Ah, it's amazing. But, or do we want to transport all of these guys into their rightful homes? I have not decided what I want to do yet, but I do know one thing: I want to sleep. So let's go do that. Can you tell what I decided to work on? I figured that it would probably be easier to move the villagers into their area without all the decorations everywhere, which would make a lot of sense. And wow, I'm lagging pretty bad actually. Look at this. Okay. All right. Oh, that'll explain it. And now, ladies and gentlemen, only after, I don't want to know. It's just so many hours. Do I dare look at the time? Oh my gosh. But regardless, everything is now been pushed into place with a little resistance. We now have villagers here, tier 1. All of them took very nicely. This guy gave me some issues. He didn't like to get pushed into the corner. He kind of wanted to go to his friends over here. But it's alright. So all of them are now in place. They're all doing their wonderful things here. Just making books. Look at this. Quick Charge 3. Bane of Aphrod's 5. Fire Aspect 2. Man, these guys are good villagers. Depth Strider 2? I like you. So now that the village has been fully stocked with villagers, we need to clean up this monstrosity of a rail system here. And then also we need to come back through here and we need to make that whole area beautiful. This is the longest project I've worked on in one episode ever, ladies and gentlemen. A grand total of like 5 days has gone into this project. Five my days. Now, God knows how many Minecraft days that is. But yeah, this is insane. I haven't even terraformed it yet, and I already think this is like my favorite place on the entire server. This is just, it's such a cool like area. I mean, this whole, not to pat myself on the back, but like this turned out really well. Like hours upon hours of work went into this town right here. And just to be able to see the final product, just, or well, not even a final product, just to see like all the buildings and their like form with all the villagers inside. It's now 100% functional with the exception of like a few odds and ends that need tying up here. I mean, this whole section is just going to be absolutely gorgeous. So let's get on with terraforming everything and doing what we can, because I'm terrible at terraforming, but we'll find out how good we can make this help. Ladies and gentlemen, yet again another day has passed, and yet I was still working. We are finally finished with the villager free-range trading system, and here it is in all of its glory. I tried to just go absolutely insane with all of the decorations, leaves. I mean, this required such a lot of leaves, or so many leaves, or however you want to say that. But this tree here was what took me the longest, I would say. Custom trees are not my forte, but I think I did a really good job on this tree. Not to like toot my own horn or anything like that, but this tree, it's just so much going on to it. I had like a little jump loop thing for like the roots popping out of the ground. I made sure to put like a hedge around it, but you can clearly see, obviously, this is a tree, but we have just so much to look at here. People will come, they will flock from miles away to come to the free-range villager trading center, and they'll be able to walk around the pathway and see a bunch of different things. Oh, it's just such a beautiful area. I would say right now, this is my favorite area in this entire server. It is just so amazing. Like, goodness me. Popping into spectator mode now, we are going to look at this build from a bird's eye view, and it is just absolutely mega. This entire thing got built in one episode. I didn't do a lot of, like, progress updates were slow, or were minimal. I just wanted to honestly just kind of sit down and get this thing done, but boy, howdy, was it worth it. Goodness me, ladies and gentlemen. This is just such a beautiful area. I'm so happy with the way it turned out. I also did a little bit more inside here. I added some of these amethyst crystals, some glow lichen inside here, and it's just, this is amazing. This is like, honestly, one of the most beautiful things I think I've ever built, ever, in my over a decade of playing this game. Gorgeous, absolutely beautiful. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that will do it for today's episode, or, well, I say today, for this week's episode. This has been quite a long time in the making, and I am so, so glad that I grinded, I did everything that I needed to do, got everything built, and it's just looking absolutely fantastic. Now, the last thing I need is for someone to come through here and blow up a creeper and have all of it get reset. But this is just an absolutely gorgeous area. I can't wait to tell all the other Jumblecraft members that this is the newest addition to the server. Everyone's welcome. Everyone can come shop with the villagers, see the beauty, chill out, have a grand old time. But thank you so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Snazzy Monkey. I hope you guys really liked this video. If you did, please sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. And I'm out. I'm so tired, so exhausted. I'm ready to just start the next project. Maybe it's a technical one. Take it easy, guys. I'll see you in the next episode.
I'd like to love you every day. I'd like to love you, I'd like to love you.